centrifuge separate solids go?
So after it is all ran through the slope screens will make the fiber, and 25% of that fiber will go to bedding. The rest of it will be compost road. The cake coming off the centrifuge is removed from the dairy to another location where the fields might be a little depleted, and it can handle the sand. So it usually goes about 15 miles away from here.
Okay. Yeah, since it gets centrifuge, separate more finer particle like the sands, the tiny sands, maybe much heavier in terms of weight. I guess your centrifuge separate more solids compared with screen separate solid. Maybe you don't have exact number, so roughly see how many. So one node from a screen, maybe there are 2 nodes from centrifuge. That kind of concept.
In weight or in capacity? I mean, fiber obviously is large, and it's bulkier, and so. If for, let's just say we're doing 8 loads of cake in a regular manure type truck, there's 30 loads of fiber. That's probably a little exaggeration, but it's 2 to 1, I guess, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway,
the screens are large enough that it's not capturing any of the sand. I mean, it's capturing a little bit, but majority of it is falling through. If you saw our pits, that the influent for the centrifuge, it's a large 20 by 20 by 12 feet deep pit, and it has filled up with silted sand before, just from after the slope screen. So it's good because it's not back in the bedding, but it's just going to come right back in the wind. So.
So that's so any change in terms of clean your lagoon before and after you install the centrifuge?
In the
clean your lagoon, so
before
and after.
So the hope was, you always try to extend it as long as you can to clean it, but we were planning on, for every 2 years with regular no centrifuge to maybe going 4 to 5 years.
Wow.
And unfortunately, with the way we keep growing and changing, we're still trying to get to that point of cleaning. We haven't cleaned it since. We know it needs to be done, but to have a true zero will probably be maybe this fall or next year. And then go from there.
So have you ever tried clean the lagoon yet after you installed the centrifuge?
We've started, but we've just been, it gets to right there and we got to start filling it back up. So
I'm just curious, if you can see anything different in the sludge.
You can actually. I think it stays suspended a little more.
Right.
We're not seeing that drop out or the lagoon turning in the summer as much. It seems to be always, if you were to scoop it in the deepest point and have a 10-foot slide of what you've captured, you're not seeing that thin water on the top and then thicker as it progresses down. It seems to be almost like a constant suspended type fibers in there, really small and fine.
That's interesting. So we would like to later know more about it. Thank you. So we have a few more questions. So next one is what maintenance do you do to the screens and the centrifuge?
So the screens are really low maintenance. They're on an auto wash, so they wash every 4 hours. So and then once a week. We have them totally broke down and pressure wash all the screw presses underneath, all the screens, acid wash them once a month. And then the second time in the week, we just come in and pressure wash them, give them a cleaning if they need to. In the wintertime, it sometimes jumps a little more because it is thicker, but very low maintenance. I mean, monthly greasing of bearings and obviously those inspections, but for time consuming, it's very consistent. A few hours a week. The centrifuge once a week is shut down and cleaned. It's about a 4-hour process, just starting and stopping and cleaning, and then the rest is all based on hours on the hydraulic fluids and any other major maintenance. They scope it, I think every 9 months, look into it, see how many more months it has to go before it's gonna have to be pulled. And then again, that's where we found that we just keep pushing it further and further out. So we're really happy about that.
Right.
Our budget was $100,000+ a year, and we're not even there.
That's awesome. Glad to hear that. Very nice. So next question we want to learn from you is what do you do? What do you use for bedding material for those cows?
It is the fiber off of the slope screens right now. 25%
Right.
fiber from there. The rest goes to compost.
Is there like any like a new like bedding you need to like purchase often?
No, so it's not, with not being a digester, we're still getting it all back. We're always going to get it back, but the more, because it is a slope screen still right now, the finer bedding that's been already produced once, it's going through. And so if you were to look at our fiber piles, they're almost a bright brown. And the older composted, when you're bedding with the compost, it's a darker material. So you can see the transition when we go from summer to winter on our bedding.
That's really nice. Thank you. We move on for like a different question. Is the sand in the liquid manure is a concern for the centrifuge or not?
It was, but it's not.
It's not like a...
Not what we thought.
Okay.
It really just,